Chelsea fans, welcome back to Talking Chelsea, welcome back to your Chelsea news. In today's video, we're talking about Enzo Maresca blaming fans for yesterday's result against Ipswich, an update regarding Liam Delap in the summer transfer chase. We also have some news regarding a new left back, and a final decision has been made with Raheem Sterling. So of course we're going to be going over these topics and I'm going to be giving my own opinion, but more importantly, I want to know what you guys think down below in the comment section. And before we get into the video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you are a Chelsea fan who enjoys Chelsea content. We're on the road to 10k by the end of 2025. Kicking things off, we have a report from Kieran Gill on what Enzo Maresca said after that 2-2 draw with Ipswich. He said, "We are stronger with our fans. We are a better team. It's up to them to decide the way." Maresca then expands on the environment issues and says, "For sure, in the moment that we are in a difficult moment, you can expect that they are not happy. But in the same moment, probably it's the moment that the players, especially the players that are inside the pitch, probably need more support." Now, I hear what he's saying. He's saying we need a better atmosphere around Stamford Bridge. We need to support the boys. Because if we don't do that, we get on their backs, they're not going to perform. However, I'm going to be brutally honest, we are more than right to call out the players and Enzo Maresca for poor results. They were praising the fans in the atmosphere in the Spurs game. It was electric. It was an electric atmosphere, and yes, it's going to help the players and help the boys get the result, and we did. It was a fantastic result for us. It wasn't necessarily the best performance, but we got it over the line, and the boys played with their hearts in their sleeves and played for the badge, and we got the result. What I don't like is Enzo Maresca coming out after a really poor game where we drew 2-2 to relegation fodder. Even though Ipswich did play well, I'm going to give them their credit, they did play very well, scored 2 good goals on the counter. You can't come out and say it's the fans' fault that we drew 2-2. We were 2-0 down in the first 30 minutes of that game. That is not acceptable. We were all over them for the first 20 minutes. Creating chance after chance after chance, and we didn't put it away. What do you expect the fans to do? They're going to get agitated, they're going to get annoyed, they're going to vent their frustrations. There was another report that apparently close to the press box, with Enzo Maresca, during the game, the fans there were saying, "Mate, this is boring, sort it out. Like, this is boring football." And I don't blame them, because look, a lot of fans within this fan base, at the moment, either want Enzo Maresca out, and I don't blame them for wanting that, because honestly, the performances have been abysmal these last few months, which is wild to say. And you've also got fans that are like, okay, even if we stick with him, just because we don't want to be on that merry-go-round of new managers all the time, things need to change. The games are predictable, the lineups are wild, it doesn't make any sense. Patterns of play are very stale. We're not converting any chances. Our wingers aren't as deadly as they should be, or they were at the start of the season. The team just isn't ticking as it was because Maresca has got these very stubborn tactics that he's not adaptable, he's not flexible with it, and he wants everyone to play a certain way. And that's cool. If you want to do that as a manager of a football club like Chelsea, you're going to have to expect the fans to get on your back when we're not getting results. It's as simple as that. I find it bizarre that you come out after a 2-2 draw where you've had to fight your way back from 2-0 down to get the draw, and then go, yeah, the fans just are on our back. They're not supporting us. We need them to get behind us. We need them to be the 12th man. Or how about you go slap up relegation fodder because you are meant to be a better team that performs in a better way and puts away all these chances. We had over 30 shots on goal, over 10 corners. And yes, we did claw back from 2-0 to 2-2. It's like the only very thinly layered positive that you can take from that absolutely abysmal performance. But you don't come out and blame the fans. This is why a lot of fans want Maresca out and they don't like him, because of the arrogance he comes across with. Yeah, well, we didn't convert the chances. We played poor in parts, but it's really on the fans. What are you on about? Moving on to some Liam Delap updates, we know that a lot of clubs are chasing this guy for the summer. Fabrizio Romano has reported that Chelsea and Manchester United have both recently made formal contacts with Delap's people to ask about salary and how the release clause works. Nath Salt One has also reported that Chelsea are accelerating talks to sign Liam Delap from Ipswich. So it looks like the race is on of how much does he want to get paid, or what's he currently on, what can we offer him, how does your release clause work? It's getting abundantly clear that Chelsea are going to end up with Liam Delap. If he doesn't go to Chelsea, which I'll be very, very surprised with, he will end up at Manchester United. Either way, I think Liam Delap is a fantastic striker. Goal and assist against us. 12 goals in the Premier League this season. There's a lot of people like he's unproven, he's not good enough, he's a project striker. Like, I hear you. But unfortunately, Chelsea, it looks like we're not going to go out and spend £100 million on a striker like Osimhen or Isak, or, you know, put the money down for Gyökeres or Sesko. I would absolutely love us to do that. I really would. Yesterday's game was another example of how we need a clinical finisher. The amount of crosses that went in the box, we have zero aerial threat. It makes no sense that we are swinging these crosses in without even thinking about it, and there's no target. We're just, it's like, you know, that's the end goal. Just drive down the wing, whip a ball in. It's not my fault. I've done my job. I've beaten a man, or most of the time I haven't, but I've got the cross in. No one's finished it. That's a shame. It just doesn't seem to work. I'm not saying that Liam Delap is the answer to this. I'm really not. However, he is a natural finisher. Jackson missed 5 chances yesterday, which is the most that anyone's had in a Premier League game this season, of missing the target or something, 5 shots in a game, something like that. Now, I back Jackson. I think he's great. I think he is developing. I think he's got a really bright future ahead of him as he develops season by season. But we can't wait much longer for a striker to be able to put away their chances. And I feel like Jackson needs competition or benching. It's as simple as that. Because right now he's our only option, right? He's our only option till the end of the season. Guiu, no one's really heard any injury updates from him. And we're not going to play someone else in that 9 role over Jackson when he's fit. So when you bring in someone like Liam Delap, who is a natural finisher and who is still developing his game for sure, fits the profile, he's cheap in terms of the transfer fee and on the wages. Even if we triple it, it's still cheap in Chelsea's eyes. It looks inevitable that he's going to be coming to Chelsea, unless he decides to go to Manchester United. But I just thought it was very interesting that, you know, United and Chelsea are really pushing for it and accelerating for it before the end of the season. They want to get this deal wrapped up ASAP Rocky. Moving on to Raheem Sterling. Football Insider have reported that Arsenal have no plans to sign Raheem Sterling on a permanent deal. They will send him back to Chelsea, and I am not surprised. I have only heard his name being mentioned like 2 or 3 times this season. I don't know whether it's been injury, he's not good enough to get in the squad, I don't know what it is, but of course Arsenal are going to send him back. They were an absolute lifeline taking him off us in that window. Let's be honest. That was an absolute lifeline from Arsenal. Absolute lifeline. And I was hoping he'd go there, do very, very well. Not because it would bite us in the backside, but because they might want to buy him and we can get him off our books. Because Sterling is just a big, big amount of money on our books. 325k a week we're paying him. I know with this loan, obviously, they're paying some, we're paying some, or whatever. So it's a little bit cheaper. We need him off the books. He's clearly not the winger we thought we signed. He had some good spells, mostly bad. Very inconsistent player. He's going to come back to Chelsea in the summer. Now, I feel like this is a nail in the coffin on Chelsea's side. Okay, cool. Arsenal don't want to take him on a permanent this summer. We are going to sell him. We're going to put him on that sell list. We're going to try and offload him. Maybe lose some money on him on the fee, or definitely on the wages, whatever. Maybe he goes to Saudi. Maybe another Premier League club wants to come pick him up, and he can finally fulfill his destiny of being that little FIFA guy in the celebrations that's been at all of the different clubs. I don't know. But for me, that's a big nail in the coffin that Raheem Sterling's time at Chelsea will be done, because Arsenal are like, we don't want you, unfortunately. He'll come back to Chelsea on massive wages and we'll go, there's the door, we are going to try and get you out. And yeah, I think that's the end of Raheem Sterling at Chelsea. Interested that Arsenal didn't want to take him on a permanent, but I fully understand it, mate, because like I said, I've heard his name a couple times this season, and even Arsenal fans have been like, why did we get him on loan? It makes no sense. They've had a load of injuries and I've still not really seen his name. I could be wrong, I don't watch too much Arsenal, but like I said, from all the reports and everything you watch when you watch football, I've just not seen his name pop up. It could be injury, I don't know, but I just don't think he's good enough to get into that Arsenal squad. And finally, we have a report from TBR Football regarding a new left-back target that Chelsea want to go for this summer. Chelsea and Tottenham have joined Manchester City in the race to sign AC Milan's Theo Hernandez, who could leave for around £30 million. Theo Hernandez, Theo, however you want to pronounce his first name, Hernandez, unbelievable left-back. He's had such a good career. Him and his brother, to be fair. Either one would do. Sign them up. £30 million is an absolute bargain. It's a steal. If Chelsea are genuinely interested in picking up another left-back who can attack, who can actually cross the ball in, who can invert, go get him. £30 million. Go and get him. Go. I don't care. Go and get him. He would be another player that wants massive wages. Granted, we know that. And again, that's a stumbling block for Chelsea, or this new era of Chelsea is higher wages. What a player. What a player. We were linked with him for years, and then he went to Milan. Fair enough. But he went to Milan and his career developed even more. I know recently it's been a bit up and down. I'm not saying he's the perfect player, but the attributes he has, his skill set, the experience he's got in the game, the clubs that he's played for, I would sign him in a heartbeat, especially if it's £30 million. However, Tottenham, I don't think will have a chance over someone choosing Chelsea, Tottenham and City. And if City are going in for him, he may end up at Man City because they will pay the wages and they do need a left back. Chelsea, on the other hand, with reports like this coming out, obviously I don't know how reliable TBL Football is a source. Fairly good, sometimes hit and miss with what they're saying. But obviously we've got Cucurella and no cover. So what does that make of Renato Vega when he comes back in the summer? Are we going to try and offload him for a quick flip and get some profit? Are we going to keep him in as backup for Cucurella? Because if we are going to go sell him, we are going to be looking for a left back. And if that's our target, yes, £30 million is an absolute steal. But that's just my opinion. I want to know what you guys think about everything that's been reported down below in the comment section. What do you think we should do with Raheem Sterling? Would you go for Theo Hernandez for £30 million? What are your honest thoughts on Liam Delap? Do you feel like Chelsea are going to sign him and he'll do well? Or do you feel he'll be another flop in a Chelsea shirt, especially with that number 9 curse looming over? What do you also think about Enzo Maresca's comments on blaming the fans for a poor result? Interested to know your thoughts down below in the comments. I love having a conversation with you guys. And if you have watched this far to the end of the video, you are a real one. Thank you so much. We are growing so nicely. The community is incredible. But if you are a Chelsea fan who enjoys Chelsea content, there'll be a thumbnail that appears on the screen. So make sure you click that because you'll enjoy that video too.